Hey everybody, welcome to Drive-Thru Review 610. Today we're going to take a look at Frogriders. Now this is a new game coming out from Stronghold Games. It was originally published by Eggert Spiel. This is a very abstract game. You are going to be manipulating Frogriders, these little gnomes that ride frogs. Poor frogs, really. Ride them around in kind of this sport which they've invented to sort of solve their differences. Similar to like a game like Blood Bowl, where instead of going out and fighting in these big fantasy battles, they now resort to sort of American style football slash rugby. Now these guys here have decided to have this frog jumping slash riding competition. It's very abstract, but it's also very interesting. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at the mechanics, and then I'll tell you what I think. Okay, here is the board set up for 3 or 4 player game. Now you're going to take all of these cute, chunky, delicious looking Frogriders. There's a yellow one there. You're just going to kind of throw them out there and randomly put them on spots. Now if you're playing 2 player, you won't use these dark green leaves, and you'll take out a certain number of each color. Now you're always going to leave the center one, this little yellow leaf, open. And then you're going to give each player a couple of things here. You're going to get this little player aid reminder. Basically, you do 2 things on your turn and that's it. You don't even really need these. And then you're going to give them some private goals. You're going to deal some of these to them, and they're going to choose one of these, so, and then keep the other one, throw the other one away. So they're going to keep this one and keep that private. So for example, at the end of the game, for each pair of red froggy riders that they've collected, they're going to get 5 points. You're also going to have some other goals and things up here. And these are public goals here, so you can see for each set of red and blue riders, everybody that has that is going to get 3 points. And then for any set of 5 riders, you're going to get 5 points. Now these are all double-sided. They've got kind of a simple side and a basic side. These are basic side, but this one, for example, you can see anytime anybody lands on a lily pad there, not a leaf, I said leaf earlier, a lily pad with a flower, you're going to score 1 point immediately. There's a whole mess of these too. You're always going to have 2 of these face up, and these are all going to work together. So like the one I had here where I had pairs of reds, I can count those as part of the sets of the reds and blues and so on. So you can sort of compound and build these sets of frogs. They're not exclusive to each other. And then there's also, just moving over here slightly, these are kind of little bonus cards and things that you can acquire during the course of the game, allowing you special abilities and stuff, as well as possibly scoring you points like you can see on these 2 here. Well, there's 2 things that you do on your turn. One thing you must do is jump another frog rider with another one. So I could take this brown one here, jump over red, take, and then the one that you jumped over, you're going to keep and collect that and put that in front of you. And the second thing you do on your turn, and this is you may do, is you may return any frogs that you currently have in your collection. So maybe over the course of the game, I collected a handful of these like this, and I've got 2 reds and a blue. Then I can take any one in front of me, and then I can return it to the village like so. Now, based on the color of Frog Rider that I did, I will do a different action. Now these brown ones here, you don't actually ever return to the village. These are always just worth 1 point at the end of the game. The others are not, unless you have some bonus cards that give you points for them. So these have no ability, but depending on red, blue, or yellow, you're going to do a different action. So if I return yellow to the village, then I can take any other unit that was in the village, and then I can take it and put it back into my collection. If I put a red back in the village, then I can make another jump. So maybe I go like this to take that. Now, even though I did a second jump, I can't then put another rider back into the village. You can only do that once on your turn. And then finally, if I return a blue to the village, then I get one of these cards. And here there's going to be a display of these 4 cards. Incidentally, if you forget what the different colored riders do, there's a little iconography there right on the board. And so you're going to take and grab one of these cards if you put a blue rider in and put it in front of you. These are going to be worth points at the end of the game, or they're going to give you different special abilities. Let's take a look at just a couple examples here. Like this one here, you can see you can do an L-shaped jump. So instead of him jumping directly over the other one, he can go over and then also like orthogonally sideways there. And this one, for example, lets you leap over a frog diagonally. Now some of these will allow you, instead of taking the frog that you leaped over. You can take the frog that you leaped with if you choose. And there's all kinds of different really cool kind of, rule breaking types of things that are here. Like this one here, every time you land on a lily pad with a flower, you get a point. Well, what if this other one is also available? That could be really cool. You'd be getting 2 points every time you do that. So these are cool little things there that you want to cash in. But remember, whenever you cash in and send these folks here back to their lovely village, these are less frogs that you have in terms of the frogs that you're collecting for the various different sets to score points at the end of the game. So there's a real kind of give and take there. So that is Frogriders. This is a great little game. This is going to be a great family game. It's going to be a great filler game for kind of your gamer game night type of thing. There's a real interesting tension between, okay, I'm gonna jump, take this frog, keep it. Okay, do I get rid of it to do the cool little action that I want to do? Or do I keep it because I know it's going to be worth some points at the end of the game? And there's a little bit of kind of like engine building, especially with the blue frogs, that you can do, because then you get the cards, they give you bonuses, you get extra points out of them, they give you cool special abilities. So there's a little bit of that kind of early to mid game engine building, and then you keep going, and you keep playing the game until somebody can't make a move, which is harder than you think, because people have different special abilities. Like, oh, well, I normally couldn't make this move, but I have these 2 special ability cards or whatever, and this one lets me do that, and that one lets me do that. So I've got some options. So that's a very interesting kind of thing. And it just plays quick. It's like a half hour or so, and the components are really cool, nice chunky. Like I said, they look kind of delicious. Doesn't that look like a nice piece of chocolate? Or maybe like a little kind of a starburst or something. Anyway, but yeah, so it's really cool, quick and easy to play, and there's some real kind of interesting thought process in terms of what do I do. It's very tactical. If you play with less players, you're going to be able to plan out a little bit more, because there might be multiple options that you can sort of plan for. Whereas if you play with 4, the board's going to shift a lot, turn by turn. So, but I definitely recommend this. Quick, fun game, nice and pleasant to look at. Going to be good with kids. It's going to be good with, like I said, a filler. So definitely take a look at Frogriders. Thanks.